Zeff was sitting on a bench by the roadside happily, unwrapping his ice cream. Just as he was about to take a bite, something shiny flew through the air and landed on the ground near him. A knife. Startled, Zeff dropped his ice cream. He looked up and saw a man wearing a black mask walking quickly towards him. The man's eyes were red and filled with anger, as though he had been searching for Zeff for a long time. Before Zeff could understand what was happening, he felt a rush of fear. It was clear that this man was dangerous. Zeff jumped up and started running, shouting, "Help! Someone please help me!" But the street was empty, and there was no one around to hear him. The man chased after Zeff, yelling, "You can't escape. No one can save you from me today." Zeff ran as fast as he could, his heart beating like a drum. But soon he reached a tall wall blocking his way. He tried to climb it, his small hands slipping against the rough surface, but he couldn't get over it. As he turned around, the man was standing right there in front of him, holding the knife. "You can't run away from me," the man growled, his voice filled with anger and sadness. "For 3.5 years I have waited for this day. Today, I will take my revenge for my son's death." Zeff, only 9 years old, was trembling with fear. His voice shook as he spoke. "Uncle, please don't hurt me. I don't understand what you are saying. I don't know what I did wrong. I was only 6 years old back then. I'm just a boy." The man pulled off his mask, showing his tired, angry face. There were tears in his eyes, but his voice was still sharp. "Because of you, I lost my son," he said, his voice breaking. "He was just 4 years old, and I couldn't save him. He died, and it's your fault." Zeff felt very scared and confused. He didn't understand how he could have caused this man's pain. With a trembling voice, he asked, "How? How did I cause your son's death?" The man gripped the knife tighter, but his voice became softer as he began to explain. 3.5 years ago, my son was very sick. He had a heart problem, and the doctor said he needed a heart transplant to live. But the operation cost a lot of money, and I didn't have enough. His mother had died when he was born. He was all I had, my only reason to live. Tears rolled down the man's cheeks as he continued. "I was desperate. I stole a diamond necklace from a jewelry shop, hoping to sell it and pay for my son's surgery. The police chased me, and I thought I could escape. I ran to a place where 4 roads met, and there you were playing by the side of the road. You saw which way I went." His voice trembled with anger as he pointed at Zeff. "When the police asked you which road I took, you told them. Because of that, I was caught. The next day, you were in the newspapers, a little boy who helped the police catch a thief. People said you were brave, but while they praised you, my son was in the hospital, dying." The man fell silent for a moment, his hands shaking. "2 days later, my son was gone," he whispered. "I was locked up in prison, helpless, while my son took his last breath. I escaped from jail just so I could find you and make you pay." Zeff's eyes filled with tears. He could see the sadness and hurt in the man's eyes. His voice was soft and full of guilt as he said, "I'm so sorry, Uncle. I didn't know you were running to save someone. I was just a little boy, and I only told the truth because my parents and teachers taught me to always speak the truth." Zeff's voice wavered as he looked down. "If telling the truth made me guilty in your eyes, then I am sorry. If taking my life will bring you peace, then I won't run any more." For a long time, the man said nothing. He just looked at Zeff, and slowly His angry face softened. The knife slipped from his hand and fell to the ground. The man dropped to his knees, crying. "I just wanted to save my son," he whispered. "I would have done anything, but I failed." Zeff stood there, not knowing what to do. He felt so sad for the man who had lost his only child. The man took out his phone and made a quick call. Just then, the sound of police sirens could be heard in the distance. Soon, a police car arrived, and the officers came to take the man away. Before they put him in the car, the man turned back to Zeff. His voice was calm now, and his eyes were no longer angry. "If my son had lived," he said, "I would have wanted him to be brave and truthful like you." As the police car drove away, Zeff stood there, feeling both sad and relieved. He realized that even though telling the truth was important, sometimes it could hurt people in ways we don't expect. And sometimes being brave meant understanding and feeling someone else's pain too.